Just like having the right information is necessary to make solid hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
State Systems is focused on protecting life and property. As a local, privately owned company, our foundation was built on providing all businesses with complete fire and security protection and infrastructure cabling. State Systems is proud to be a part of the Mid-South community and a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance has been serving the Mid-South since 1954. We've always focused on supporting our community and believed in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts is proud to be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Additional funding for the Spark provided by Christian Brothers University and Power and Tell.
This month on The Spark, our theme is Healthy Choices. We'll explore a weekly nonprofit outdoor marketplace featuring local farmers and artisans. We'll learn more about a local catering company that's infusing style into the culinary experience to create meals that are simply delicious. And we'll discuss an organization training a new generation of farmers that's focused on growing and distributing ethical and clean food. Have you ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes who are making a difference in their own way, so we can learn and do the same. This truth is the power behind this show, which is focused on business and community leaders that are leading by example to give back, fuel change, and create new opportunities for the Mid-South. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're a weekly, nonprofit, outdoor marketplace for local farmers and artisans. I'm here with the Executive Director of Memphis Farmers Market, Allison Cook. And for starters, give us a little bit of a history lesson on Memphis Farmers Market.
It's really an amazing history. It started with a small group of volunteers who lived downtown. And if you remember 10 years ago in downtown, there wasn't a lot of really good food options. And so they got together and said, we need a farmer's market. And it's been incredible that they've been able to grow it until what it is today.
And one of the perks is free parking. So give us an idea of, outside of the free parking, exactly where Memphis Farmers Market is.
Yes, we are on the corner of G.E. Patterson and South Front Street, so right there at the MATA bus depot. And it provides a wonderful pavilion coverage for all of our vendors and shoppers, as well as a large parking lot for free.
So rain or shine, you're good to go.
We are there.
And talk about the time frame and times, the basic logistics of it.
So we're open now every Saturday. It's from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be there every Saturday until November 21st. We're going to take a little break over the holiday season, and then we'll come back the second Saturday in December for a one-day holiday market.
Perfect for Christmas and holiday shopping, right?
Exactly.
Nice. And so talk about just what we can find there. I know the big piece is local farmers, artisans, so it's arts, crafts, food. Give us a teaser on some of the things that we can find out there.
I really tell people you can shop for your whole week. Don't come and just think of one special meal that you want to make. Really think about your whole week's worth of shopping, because we have everything from chicken and beef and catfish and seafood, all the way through some dips, hummuses, and some desserts, as well as obviously a huge selection of produce.
And the arts and crafts, and so all sorts of knickknacks and all sorts of great gift items.
We have some wonderful pottery that makes really good gifts, or just to add to your own collection.
How many vendors on average are out there on a weekend?
On average, you'll see between 70 and 75.
Wow.
I have 82 complete on the roster, and they come, some of them come every other week, some of them rotate. So 70 to 75 on any given Saturday.
And I've got to believe, you know, being focused downtown, there's a big part of this that's tourism, so drawing people in that might not live downtown, but also just the economic impact alone. Give us some, you know, stats on just the economic impact and the tourism factor.
Yeah, it really is incredible to meet the people who come to the market. Of course, we have our base that come every Saturday, and we love them, but even just last Saturday I met a couple from Finland that were here. So it's incredible to see the draw that we are to locals and tourists. We do survey our customers, and they tell us that most of them spend more than 30 minutes at the market, and they spend between $30 and $40. And if you think last season we had 75,000 people, that adds up really quickly.
That's a big number, absolutely.
To an impact in the Memphis area, and then right back into the pocket of those farmers and those small businesses who can then go and invest further into their plantings. So it's wonderful.
And I think that's the important part, is that you have a chance to talk to the farmer that's growing the crops. And so you get a chance to interact with them, learn how it's grown, but also too learn how to prepare it, how to cook it. And so for things like rutabaga, where you're like, what is a rutabaga? They get to learn firsthand what it is, how to prepare it, how to cook it.
That's right. That's what really one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is having that producer there to talk to the shoppers. And you know, today so many people have food concerns, how was that grown, or allergies, or not knowing how to cook a certain item, that they can really have those one-on-one conversations with the farmer and feel good about eating that food.
And I know some of the other things you do, you have live performance out there, you have stuff for the kids, you have cooking demonstrations, so it covers a very wide spectrum. It's more of a festival, it's an event, more so than just a Memphis Farmers Market.
Yeah, and that's really our goal, is to be a destination. We want you to come and stay, bring the kids. We have food trucks, so you can come and have breakfast and shop, enjoy some live music, shop some more, have lunch.
So it's a full day event, right?
It is. It's really become a really great destination with a really good atmosphere.
And one aspect of this is fighting food deserts and providing healthy, nutritious options for areas that might or might not have access before. And you have some very unique programs that go with that. Share a little bit about just how you're fighting food deserts.
Yeah, we have a great opportunity to accept SNAP benefits. We've been accepting them for 4 years now. And it's through a token program, and you can bring your debit, your credit, or your SNAP card, and you swipe it at our market information table. You can purchase tokens that then can be used with a vendor. And really what that does is a twofold option, because it allows people who are using SNAP benefits a really great outlet to use those benefits at, as opposed to a corner store or someplace that might not have really good food options. And it also gives the farmer and the vendor an opportunity to benefit from those benefits.
Right, absolutely.
That they wouldn't be able to take otherwise. So it's another great, really double benefit. And actually we have a matching partnership grant with Grow Memphis. So people who use their SNAP benefits at the market, if they swipe up to $10, we give them $10 more for fresh produce.
Wow.
So it's a huge benefit really to everyone involved in that whole process.
Absolutely. And so Grow Memphis is a great partnership, obviously. What are some other partnerships when you look at just collaboration? You know, to me, being downtown, being a hub, there's got to be a lot of interesting collaborations. What's maybe one that comes to your mind outside of Grow Memphis?
Yeah, another one that we have is actually Bluff City Coffee. And their retail shop is located on South Main, and they came to us a couple of years ago and wanted to get involved, wanted to kind of further that South Main spirit of growing the whole area. And so they actually have become our coffee cart sponsor, and they're wonderful to bring and work that area for us. So shoppers and volunteers, everybody down there can get really great coffee and some sweet treats.
Who doesn't like coffee? Come on.
First thing in the morning, hit up that coffee cart.
Right. Talk to us about volunteerism. I know that obviously shopping is a very easy way to play a part of your efforts, but what are some other things that we as the public can do to be a part of Memphis Farmers Market? Yeah,
actually the Saturday market is mostly run by volunteers. We have between 30 and 40 on site every Saturday, and they have a wide range of jobs that they do for us. We have pet sitting, they can help work the coffee cart. They can help at the market information table. And then we also have a group that we just call patrollers, and they walk around and assist shoppers if you need help carrying your watermelon to your car, or if a vendor needs help. If you're a vendor, maybe you came by yourself that day and you need a break or you need a cup of coffee. So there's a wide variety of things that volunteers can do for us.
What's next? When you look at kind of where you've already grown to and now where you're headed, what's maybe a little teaser on what's to come?
Yeah, so this is our 10th season. And so we have lots of really fun events coming up this year to celebrate. And it's also a really nice kind of milestone to be able to look back and see our history and start planning for the future. So that's kind of where we find ourselves, which is a really exciting time.
Absolutely, especially 10 years to be able to look back and see what can we do to raise the bar even more?
Exactly.
Exciting times. What would you tell people, so maybe they haven't been out to Farmers Market yet, so they haven't been to the Memphis Farmers Market, they haven't seen everything that's going on. What would you tell those that would be the first timers?
Well, come this Saturday.
There you go, easy.
And really bring the family. You know, we want to be a destination. We want to be part of your Saturday routine. So we often have kids activities and live music and food trucks. So bring the kids, bring the family, and really make a day out of it.
And so where can we find more information about Memphis Farmers Market?
We have a great website with lots of our upcoming events. It's memphisfarmersmarket.org.
Perfect. Well, greatly appreciate you coming on the show and sharing all the great work you're doing with Memphis Farmers Market.
Thank you.
They're infusing passion and style to create a unique culinary experience. I'm here with the co-owner of Simply Delicious Caterings, Trisha Woodman. And for starters, you have a very unique history tied to a famous institution here in the Mid-South, Corky's Barbecue. But I think that showed you a lot and taught you a lot to be able to create Simply Delicious Catering. So give us a little bit of story in terms of growing up in the food business tied to Corky's Barbecue.
Absolutely. It started probably 1986 is when Corky started. My dad had been in the restaurant business before, the Public Eye, if you remember, in Overton Square. It was quite a place. And he had this vision of kind of an upscale barbecue restaurant in the middle of town that was going to have a cool drive-through window, which was kind of strange at the time because only McDonald's and fast food restaurants did things back then. And he started this restaurant, and starting as a teenager, he believed in work ethic and us working, all the time. So
right.
At 15, 16, I worked 3 days a week. I was just like everybody else.
Wow.
And watching his vision, because he never knew how to cook. I mean, he still didn't know how to cook until he passed away 2 years ago, actually.
Which
Friday.
is interesting if you don't know how to cook, starting a restaurant.
Absolutely, it was kind of a strange phenomenon, but it's been an amazing journey, and both my brother and I have learned his passion of really the customer service part of it and the creating the experience. So that was kind of his thing, is when you walk in the restaurant, that the music, the 50s music is going, and all of our servers are smiling and happy, and taking barbecue, because he always believed that, yeah, our barbecue is great, but barbecue's barbecue, and the food, as long as it's consistent and good, it's really the experience that the customers experience when they come in.
And carry that forward, because I mean that's one of the things that makes you very unique with Simply Delicious Caterings is the experience from start to finish. So it's working on the front end and figuring out, okay, what event type are you working with? What do you want the end user to experience? How can we craft the food with this unique style to be able to deliver that experience?
Absolutely. So basically the story behind Simply Delicious is about 4 years ago, April. Tim Delfune at the zoo, who is one of he plans events at the zoo, he came to us and said, I love when we do a ton of zoo events, so 5,000, 6,000 people at a time, and you guys need to come up with a different name that's going to be an upscale, because I can't really sell a bride that wants to do lobster with the name Corky's, even though I know you guys can do it. So my brother, my sister-in-law Billy, my husband, and myself, and Amira, director of operations, sat in a room and we said, let's come up with a name. And we came up with Simply Delicious Caterings. We searched to find the best chefs and the best staff that we could find. And we decided just that we really, in Memphis, we hadn't, personally hadn't experienced catering that was the same model as Corky's, which is you call and you've got someone happy answering the phone and someone getting back to the professionalism starting from the first phone call, creating an experience from the first phone call to the actual execution of the event. And so we decided that we were going to tackle that, and we were going to do everything that we could. And it was a long first year and a half. And I think we met you guys right at the beginning of
absolutely.
that. And I think that we really, our mission was to create experiences for our customers. So instead of it just being, we need a food buffet, we like to listen to our clients, hear what their event is about, kind of take the food as kind of the base of it, but to help them create the experience along the way.
And so you're working with small events in terms of like business seminars, workshops, and lunches. You're doing huge weddings, you're doing huge events, you're doing everything in between. Talk about just the breadth of scope and what, especially for a catering company, because that's a lot to juggle, is all these small events where you're doing sandwiches and then you're doing huge buffets and then you're doing, there's a lot of moving pieces all in one day.
Absolutely. We could do up to 20 events in a day, which is abnormal. Last week alone, I think we served over 50,000 people. Wow. And it was hospital week. So we served a lot of the hospitals in town, and it was crazy chaos. But I think that's what sets us apart. There's so many things that I think set us apart. They're amazing caterers in Memphis, and we love them all, and we have great relationships with a lot of them as well. But I think what sets us apart is we have over 450 people in the city of Memphis that work for us. We've got the 4 restaurants. We have a USDA facility that's 80,000 square feet. We've got Simply Delicious. So our pool of employees, and I think that's what's really important in an event. When something is a big event and it's special to people, you have to trust that, the people that are working on those events are going to have the best interest of the company at heart. And our staff is, it's amazing. So we can do things from 2 people to, 20,000 people, and we can do it last minute. It's crazy. People don't really believe that we do it, but we had someone call us yesterday for a 5,000 person event on the 27th.
Wow.
And we're like, got it.
We'll do it.
Done. You know, my dad's belief always was, the sale comes in, you take it. It doesn't matter what we have to do. We have to call in people to come in, we'll get it done. So
one of the things that I really appreciate is your heart, and you're very philanthropic. Your whole family is. You do a ton to be able to give back to nonprofits. Everything from St. Jude to Stax Museum of American Soul Music and Stax Music Academy. Talk about just the heart of Simply Delicious Caterings and being involved with nonprofits in the community.
I was brought up by two amazing people. Both my mom and dad are the most philanthropic humans I've ever met. I've learned from an early age that giving back is the most important. And if anybody were to ever ask my dad what his favorite part of life was, it was doing for other people. Like, he didn't like things for himself. He liked to do for other people because he loved to see their, faces. So, and my mom was always very involved in charitable, giving. So from our perspective, and we have a ton of people through Corky's that are asking us to, to give, help with events and stuff. And we've always done that because that's just how Barry and I both were brought up. But with Simply Delicious, it's almost more fun to do it because we've got events that are really big scheme. And what I do is we give no matter what. But what we also do is we have really great relationships with vendors in town. So if I have a nonprofit that's asking us to be a part, they want to use us because not only am I going to help them, with Simply Delicious, but I'm always connecting with vendors that want to help as well. So I'm a big believer in kind of bringing vendors together and teamwork and doing what's the best for the community because, that's really what it's all about.
I love it. And you yourself, and when you look at using your business, Simply Delicious Caterings, to give back, you've done very creative things, like a certain percentage. If you book an order in a certain month, a certain percentage goes to a nonprofit. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is one of those. So using your skill sets, your experience, your business to be able to give back as well.
Absolutely. So we've actually hired a new director of sales, Angela Watson, who came from Mahaffey, who's one of our favorite vendor partners. And we're basically offering right now from, all June and July, picnics and company picnics and family picnics that happen, that we're going to give back 5% to St. Jude. Anytime that we can help a nonprofit ask anyone, they all call us and we're like, of course we will. I shouldn't say this on TV, but we're always willing to help. We grew up in a family that was very charitable, and I know that that's the most important part of business, is giving back.
So how can we learn more about Simply Delicious Caterings?
Well, you can go to our website at www.sdcmemphis.com. You can check out our Facebook page. We've got amazing pictures. We're on Pinterest. And you can call us, and we'd love to come meet you. And
there you go. SDC Memphis, Simply Delicious Caterings. Greatly appreciate all you do to give back here in the Mid-South.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for coming on the show. They're focused on training a new generation of farmers. I'm here with the co-founder, executive director of Roots Memphis Farm Academy, Wes Riddle. And for starters, you have a very personal tie, obviously, with you and your wife, but give us a little bit of history for Roots Memphis Farm Academy.
Great. Well, Mary Phillips Riddle, my now wife, she has 10 years of sustainable farming experience, and she was one of the first hires in Memphis to work in urban farming. She started her own for-profit urban farm, which was the first also in the city of Memphis. It was going so successfully, though, that we decided that we should do more than just have one urban farm. We knew that she was onto something that we could replicate and that we could teach others to do if they were interested in it, which we knew that they were. We knew there was a market. We knew that there were lots of people interested, and we knew that there was a sort of like a special knowledge that Mary had that other people needed access to.
Right.
So instead of just teaching one-off classes or workshops, we turned it into a full-on business incubator for small-scale sustainable farming in the region.
And that's where this is a full curriculum. Now, obviously, you have a farm, but it's a full curriculum where they're going through in classes, and you're going through everything from financing, land use, management, real estate. I mean, it's encompassing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Walk us through a little bit of the nitty-gritty.
So it's designed to be a complete wraparound program for somebody who wants to start their own farm. So you begin, the way that we've structured it, you begin in a classroom setting, and that's where we really go through the theory and practice of sustainable agriculture and put you through a business course where we teach you the ins and outs and the nitty-gritty of how to tease profitability out of a small space, starting off with a small amount of resources, and then to build a plan to scale up. The goal of the business planning course is for those folks to be able to make money early on and then eventually court investors so that they can put together a business that will be able to support them and their family long term. So that's the first thing, is a 6-month curriculum. The main deliverable, or really the only deliverable that matters, is their business plan. And it's a real business plan that isn't just abstract. They will actually be implementing it if they pass that course. And where they'll be implementing it is, we give them a 1/4 acre of land under our oversight at our incubator farm that's out at Shelby Farms Park. And they get 2 to 3 years of practical farm management experience underneath us to prove to themselves and to us that this is something that they can take to, that they're good at, and that they want to do long term.
Wow.
And then we haven't gotten this far, we're only 2 years old, but the next phase is, once we've found those folks who are good at it, who are going to make excellent farmers, who are dedicated, and have proven it. They have a business plan now. They've got a track record of success.
Right.
Then we can take that to folks who want to give money or folks who want to loan money, and put them in a situation where they're able to get the startup financing and capital needs that they need to start their independent business. So that's how it works.
Talk about sustainable farming. When you talk about the value of what you're doing, it's not only through the growing but the distribution channel as well. What's the difference? When you talk about why sustainable, why is that so important in terms of the nutrition and the well-being for our community? What does that mean?
Well, we talk about it like this. It's a very, very complicated conversation. We generally boil it down to there's 3 pillars of sustainability: so social, economic, environmental. Environmental people tend to understand already. This is chemical-free produce. This is farming practices that are restorative of the environment rather than destructive. We're dealing with all of those things on the land. It's different than conventional, which relies on artificial inputs. There's no artificial inputs. Everything that touches a crop is safe for human contact. So there's the environmental sustainability. Then there's social. Our farmers have to be dedicated to each other in a cooperative sense, and also to their employees in the community in a socially sustainable way. They need to be good business managers so that they're capable of paying an ethical wage to good employees.
Right.
In this context, you're making it even harder on yourself to be profitable because you're committed in a value sense to paying folks an ethical wage for their work, but that means you have to be even better at running your business. So we have a commitment on the front end. This is who we're going to be. It's a value statement. And then the final pillar is economic, and that's sort of obvious too. If you can't stay in business, right, you can't sustain sustainability. So we put a tremendous amount of emphasis on that as well, because all 3 have to come together.
And talk about the formal program itself. Once they go through, and it's an application process. They have to be over 18. There's a certain amount of dynamics that go into that, correct?
Right. So you have to be legally able to contract to be in the program. So that's over 18. There's the application process is it's really straightforward, but it's personal. Once you send in an application, we try to do we try to do a lot of personal interaction. We don't want it just to be like a college application where you become a number in a spreadsheet that gets a score, and then that's how an algorithm makes a decision. We want to meet with everybody, get a sense for who they are, what they want out of life, what their goals are, what their background is, get a sense for their passion and their commitment to this idea. So that's really how we handle that. But we're really limited in the space that, in terms of our capacity, we have to have land where we can put new students. So we can't accept most of the people who apply now. just simply due to that limitation.
I just think it's really neat that we have a farm academy, Roots Memphis Farm Academy, right here in Memphis and in Shelby County. So it's very unique, especially for those that they want to take that next step and be a sustainable farmer. And when you look at the impact it has on our economy, it's huge. It's great. So I just love it. So where can we as the public learn more about what you're doing?
Well, you can go to our website. It's rootsmemphis.org. There's some great value statements on there, some images of our farmers. You can get to know our farmers and our growing practices and what we do. All of our products are available online. Our farm is open to the public. It's out at Shelby Farms Park, which is a wonderful partnership that we currently have with them. And you can tour, you can volunteer.
So there you go. Make sure and learn more about Roots Memphis Farm Academy. Greatly appreciate all you're doing here in Mid-South.
Thanks very much.
Over the years, I've found myself becoming increasingly aware of the food I eat and how I fuel my body. Food is nourishment, but as we saw today, it's so important that we make healthy choices which lead to richer, longer, and more fruitful lives. As a community, it's critical that we provide fresh fruits and vegetables to our communities and also teach our neighbors how to grow, prepare, and cook nutritious meals, just like Roots Memphis Farm Academy and Memphis Farmers Market. As businesses, we must bring this same philosophy into the workplace by serving healthy meals and providing snack alternatives that are creative, delicious, and nutritious, just like Simply Delicious Caterings. Indeed, we have a powerful opportunity to make a difference for ourselves and others through the choices we make with our food. Thank you for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests and to interact with your stories of others leading by example, visit thesparktv.org. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll join with us in creating a spark for the Mid-South.
Just like having the right information is necessary to make solid hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
State Systems is focused on protecting life and property. As a local, privately owned company, our foundation was built on providing all businesses with complete fire and security protection and infrastructure cabling. State Systems is proud to be a part of the Mid-South community and a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance has been serving the Mid-South since 1954. We've always focused on supporting our community and believed in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.